Hello and welcome to HitMic, the healthcare and IT marketing community where marketers share strategies and lift each other up. I'm Colin Hung, and today I am super excited to be sitting down with Gil Bashe, longtime member and friend of the HitMic community, chair of Fin Global Health, Health Tech World US correspondent, and Medika.Life author. Gil, welcome to the program.
Colin, thank you so much to be with you, whether it's at HIMSS or Vive or another health or another gathering around the world. It's always a pleasure. And obviously, you've got to send my very best to John and to Brittany and the entire HitMic community who we're speaking to today.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that. And I definitely will pass along your well wishes. But man, you've got some pretty big information coming out. You want to give us a little preview of what that is?
For my HitMic friends, absolutely. So tomorrow we're announcing, or as you hear this, we're announcing that Medika.Life, a health information and news platform that attracts 100,000 readers every month, 1 to 3 million hits a month, is joining Fin Partners as a unique independent unit. And I'm going to be somewhat trading my author's hat for an editor-in-chief role at Medika.Life, still obviously maintaining its non-promotional format. We do have a section of Medika.Life that welcomes press releases that are marked as press releases, but our editorial comment has and will remain objective and non-promotional. So it's a privilege to be serving this added role and to be working closely with two people who have become friends, Dr. Robert Turner, who's based in the Philippines, and Dr. Jeff Livingston, who is the CEO of MacArthur Medical Center based in Dallas, Texas. They'll continue with Medika.Life and be the editors-in-chief emeriti and founding editors of the platform. So we're very, very excited about this.
So Medika.Life, I don't know much about it until you told me, so I had to look them up.
Go look it up, Medika.Life, Medika with a K.
Is it, who is it targeted to? What kind of stories did they, for our audience, what kind of stories did they
really
write about?
Important question. First of all, as I mentioned earlier, about 100,000 monthly readers, loyal readers. Our authors, we have about 40 authors. They're physicians, they're physical therapists, they're psychologists, they're nutritionists, they're health policy people like myself, health communications people involved in public health, really across the board in terms of the health professional community. Obviously, many people involved in health information, people from the HitMic community in Korea, people involved in environmental health, as I mentioned earlier, public health issues, all different types of subject matter. And we're posting new stories every day. Obviously, stories have to be based in science with references and so forth. We take that very, very seriously. We counsel readers, obviously, to consult with their physicians before making any medical decision, and look at these articles before they pop online. But for people involved in mental health or women's health or men's health or any pressing topic, it's just a great place to go to get perspective. It has a different vibe altogether. It's edgy, sometimes it's provocative. It's going to stay that way, of course. We wanted to maintain its independence, but it's really designed to get people thinking. It has values of inclusion, diversity, access to care. These are all values that Medika.Life stands for, that Fin Partners stands for. So obviously, it's a relationship that was driven by like-minded individuals. And who's reading it? Well, people like you and me, people who really want to get a different, edgy point of view, find out what's happening next, and we're going to maintain that same energy.
Sounds exciting, but I have to ask this question. It's a little odd to hear of an organization like Fin, who obviously is known very much for doing it, being a fantastic PR partner, being a fantastic marketing partner to, its clients, to actually own a media outlet, which is essentially what is now happening. Can you walk us through that sort of
Totally. Colin,
juxtaposition?
that's a frequent question. So first, I just want to reinforce the independence of the platform and its non-promotional nature. That's very, very important to us. And obviously that's what's driving the readers. So we're not going to change what's working incredibly. Try to imagine a magazine with 100,000 readers, loyal readers. You don't want to mess with that, and we're not. There is, as I mentioned before, a section for promotional content that's marked as such called press releases, and people can go there. And we do view those in terms of breakthrough therapies, breakthrough information, breakthrough campaigns that improve patient care. We are open to that. And people should contact me onto the Medika.Life platform for that. First of all, what is communications? It's a little bit what you and John do so magnificently. Communications is not just about earned media. It's actually about championing important messages that improve people's lives, that make a difference in the world. So when you take a look at the power of a message, you've got to sort of say, is that message working across various information channels? So one channel that we know very well as communicators is earned media. People working with clients, working with media, being the conduit of important stories that we read in the papers all the time. How about social media? Obviously, as a great firm, we're taking content, we're putting it into short form, we're connecting it sometimes to links, we're putting it onto social media. Advertising as marketers, we're looking at integrated marketing, digital marketing. This is all ways to get the message across. But one of the most powerful ways to get a message across that often, well, our industry, our health industry has been resistant to at times is actually authentic voice. Is just sharing your idea. And if you look at the rise of authentic voice, Medium as the platform actually came into being so that you and I and all our HITMIC community members could express ideas on Medium. And from Medium, we were saying, you know what? We're not going to go through the intermediary of media, earned media. We're just going to put our ideas out there on Medium. Or how about LinkedIn blogs or Thrive? And all of a sudden, these platforms begin to blossom. Medika.Life, or Medika.Life rather, is an extension of that in the medical and health area. It became a platform for people to say, hey, I want to express a point of view. One of the greatest things that I got involved in as one of the editors of is a section of Medika.Life called Eco Health or Planetary Health. People were not connecting the fact that our health as people is directly related to the planet's health. The planet doesn't need us to survive. We need the planet to survive. And I decided to write about that with colleagues. Totally non-promotional, nothing to do with Fin clients, everything to do with what we stand for, which is improving the world. So how does a marketing firm, a public relations firm of note, get involved directly in media? It's another channel of which we can encourage our clients to explore. Last month, we announced, member of the HITMIC community, Todd Yuri, we announced that Pharmacy Podcast Network had become part of Fin. Again, an independent, unique unit, along with Medika.Life, operating alongside of Fin with our love and support. Why? Everything's channeled through pharmacy. Think about it. Every health product you get, every prescription a doctor writes, hospitals have pharmacists, senior care facilities have pharmacists, nursing homes have pharmacists, your neighborhood street has a pharmacist. We felt this in this country, 310,000 pharmacists, they deserve bigger voice. Pharmacy Podcast Network has 120,000 downloads a month. We just want to champion it. Our fingers are not in the business. Todd Yuri is continuing to lead that business as the executive producer. We're here to champion the voice of pharmacy. We're here to champion the voice of people who have important things to share around our health. That is part of our mission, to make a difference in the world. So it's a natural fit for an organization like ours, not necessarily for everybody else.
So how are Fin clients going to be involved with these media, or is it one more earned media way? Are you going to encourage your clients to contribute articles? How is that going to work out, or have you worked that out?
We have, and we're working it out also. Part of it is think about our industry.
Mhm.
A lot of our industry is uncomfortable talking about issues. They want to talk about their industry, don't they? They want to
Sure.
talk about their new product. They want to talk about the new technology. They don't necessarily want to talk about the problems you and I face in accessing health information or accessing the system, or why the health ecosystem isn't working closely together. They don't want to venture into that area. They do want to learn about it. So one, we have a platform alongside of us where they can be subscribers. They can learn. They can learn from people who are talking to the important issues that impact our health, our lives. They can actually begin to interact like you could, like anybody in the HIPMIC community could. They can interact with them on social media, on LinkedIn, ask them questions. But there are a variety of different ways our clients are going to benefit. We have 100,000 readers each month. We will
Mhm.
be fielding polls. We will be fielding research that we label as a Fin-sponsored poll or a Fin-sponsored research, inviting readers to participate, to share their point of view, because we're an organization that's trying to make a difference in the world. We want the world to express its opinion. So in that way, our clients will benefit. Also, we will have bold clients. We will have clients that really need to express voice, not around issues that impact their business, but issues that impact our well-being. And they'll have people like myself and many others at Fin who know the platform and can say, venture in, have authentic voice, don't sit on the sidelines. And I would say one of the reasons why in the COVID era, we're so suspect of the industry at times is, let's face it, Colin, do we really hear directly from industry other than something that deals with their business model or the product itself? Do we know them as people? Do we have a sense of what's important to them as people, as a community? Not always, but when we do, don't we feel closer to them? Don't we feel our interests are more closely aligned to each other? That's what Medika.Life is all about. So actually, we're opening the door to our clients, most certainly, to look at the submission criteria, which require non-promotional content that is vetted to consider participating as well. But we already have some 40 great authors, more amazing people, as we announced. A friend of the HIPMIC community, of course, John Nasta, who's known as an innovation theorist, is joining as an author. Other people are already expressing interest in that. Maybe you, Colin, and John, and members of the HIPMIC community will join aboard. You're welcome. Just visit the site. I'm looking forward to welcoming you.
And Gil, do you have any concern or worry about how other media outlets may see this? Like, are you worried about alienating them? Are you so different that it's not really going to be an issue? What's your thoughts on that in terms
Yeah,
of,
I
I'll call
think
it
we're very
traditional
different. You know,
media?
let's face it. How many people do you follow on media? You know, and just in our space alone, there's tons of people.
Sure.
The rise of the blogger is really citizens reporting. Don't you think we're all in the HIPMIC community a bit of reporters right now? I mean, right now we're talking, we're really doing an audio news report or audio visual news report. We have colleagues, I don't want to mention HIPMIC community names, but we have many other colleagues that have great podcasts that I enjoy listening to. I thank them for that. We have people who are writing blogs that I read actively. They're reporters. They're citizen reporters. That's what Medika.Life really is. Medika.Life is really a home for health professionals who also wish to be citizen reporters. So when I think of some of our reporters, I won't mention the names. I encourage you to visit them. They have PhDs, they have MDs, they're occupational therapists, a doctor in occupational therapy. They're pharmacists, as I mentioned earlier. They're health policy experts. So they need a home. Well, they're knowledgeable. They're closest to the patient. They're closest to the issue. Where can they express their point of view? What happens is that these platforms, as they grow, they need support. And what we've been able to do with Medika.Life is give it both the technology support that it needed as it goes forward, the social media clout that it needs, And actually, what we're doing is, in a way, democratizing media. So let me turn the question over in another way, and I will mention media in this case. Forbes. Forbes now invites people to participate in the platform and pay for that privilege. They have awards, they have conferences. That's all part of their business model. There are many other news sources that have as their business model conferences you can sponsor. And as a result of the sponsorship, you can have someone participating on a platform. Medika.Life is a not-for-profit platform. It's remaining a not-for-profit platform. We're not going to change that. We're not going to monetize that. We're going to keep it exactly what it is. I actually think that Medika.Life, as a result of that, is the ultimate Switzerland of health information.
Interesting. Okay. So you're going to keep it as a non-profit generating organization.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct. We believe in the importance of non-monetized health information. And Medika.Life is home for that. So we will look to expand the platform. Again, not for profit. But there's many things we might do not for profit. We might do research that we share, polling that we share on Medika.Life. We might do a Medika.Life experience, which is maybe a 3-hour or so virtual gathering where people can hear from the reporters themselves, the authors, what's important to them in mental health, in physical health, in wellness, in policy. But again, we think that there's room for amazing platforms that are for profit, and equally so, amazing platforms that are not for profit. And I think that the HITMIC community will be particularly interested in this news, because I think that our community needs to have much more voice. I think HITMIC, you and John and Brittany are our ambassadors. So I'm looking forward to seeing you on the platform as well. I would not be surprised if, let's say, you, Colin, have written on Medium or will write on Medium. Don't write on Medium. Medika.Life should be your home then. 100,000. We have a relationship, by the way, with Being Well on Medium, and that will continue. So if you want to be on Medium, I can arrange for people to publish on Being Well, and that quality content often moves over intuitively onto Medika.Life as well.
Yeah, you took one of the questions and you answered one of the questions I was going to ask there. You know, if I was a member of the HITMIC community, not familiar with Medika.Life, like what would you say to me to try to convince me to contribute to the platform or have a voice on there?
Well, part of it is we're supporting our authors. So for people who publish on Medika.Life, and that's Medika.Life, it's not just floating there on our platform. We also share it out on our social platforms, and because we have a strong community, people are also sharing out that content, and we're encouraging that. And as I said before, when we look at our fragmented health ecosystem, and that's what a lot of our authors write about, by the way. They write about the fact that often they want to talk to something that's broken in the system, but they want to heal it also. By talking about the brokenness of the system, the desire to participate in its healing, its reconstruction. What we do is we gain voice in the system itself. So that's a good reason for our HITMIC community to look at Medika.Life. And perhaps, as I said before, HITMIC itself wants to have a special area within Medika.Life that we can support. And it doesn't diminish your HITMIC channels as well. It's an added channel, and it's not for profit again.
And what are the plans for Medika.Life? Down the road, are you planning more to add more to that platform, adding more channels? What's sort of the future?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you look at the Medika.Life platform right now, we have some very set. If you look at the top areas, we have some very set areas we're running about: health, opinion, and policy, eco health, men's health, women's health. We're looking at wellness and so forth. But the Eco Health platform, which I'm privileged to have started with one of my colleagues,
Mhm.
Bob Martineau in our Nashville office, who's really an environmental affairs expert of note. He and I really just felt we needed to have a place to write about it. Medika.Life created an expanded home for us, and then said, when we posted our first interview together, they said, this is so important, we're going to start a channel, because Medika.Life's mission is to make a difference in the world of health. So if someone writes and wants to be a columnist, a dedicated columnist, we can create a unique channel to encourage more authorship around that channel. So, I was at a conference recently called the Global Wellness Summit, and it was a compelling 4-day summit around wellness. I was privileged to moderate a panel that talked about moving or transforming the sick care system to a self-care system. And a lot of our health in this country, for instance, is based on managing illness, sickness. It's not really based on keeping you healthy. It's just sort of based on keeping you alive. We use the term health for keeping you alive. I mean, Medika.Life really wants to change our mindset about this. And so a lot of our content is written by doctors who are just trying to say, think about this. So yes, we want more people to participate, and that's one of our goals. There's a lot. The reason we don't compete, Colin, is think about it. When you think of the amount of media out there that deals with wellness and health, it's not infinite, but it's
It
expansive,
feels like
right?
it.
Right, it's expansive. So we certainly are not a competitor here. What we are champions of information, of people's ideas and ideals to get out there. And that's really important to us. Now, as I said earlier, Medika.Life had a vision around a world where access to care, access to information around health was readily accessible. Finn has a parallel vision, different words, different approach, but parallel. And Medika.Life had expanded beyond the founders' really original ability to sort of like corral all this. And when they said, what do you think? Our response was immediate. Obviously, I had experience with the platform and the editors and the authors because I was an author myself.
Sure.
But you know what happens if you don't support these platforms? Many times they wither.
Mm.
And this was too big a community to let wither. And FIT is very proud to be associated with this and very proud to have the mindfulness to leave it alone.
Well, that'll be key, I think, for you going forward is keeping that that arm's length, so to speak. Not quite the right term, but certainly where it remains independent, where it remains where it has that journalistic integrity, if you will, where the not-for-profit status of it. I think those will help you to keep it as you call it, the medium for healthcare, right? Like,
Absolutely, absolutely. I think you nailed it. I think that often we think that by channeling or controlling your voice that we are having greater impact. Actually, if you think of a channel or a tunnel, how little expansive voice you have when you say, do something, get out there. Um, you have the ability to have a great impact. I think you were very kind in your opening comments about Finn as a community, which like HITMIC is a community. I think we've recognized that by inviting people to participate with us and make a difference in this world,
mhm.
ultimately we're going to have a lot more impact together. And it attracts people to us, it attracts great talent to us, it attracts thinkers to us, it attracts allies to us. I think this is just a very consistent move on our part to really live our values.
Gil, this has been fantastic. Thank you so much for sitting down with us and sharing all this great information. I look forward to actually seeing how this plays out over the next 6 months and 12 months.
Colin, I thank you. I do want to say a word about the HITMIC community.
For sure.
The HITMIC community is inspiring. It is pioneering. it is really comprises people who are not frightened or actually bold and confident about shaking it up. And a lot of my ideas have come from the HITMIC community. People are looking at connections, networking, supporting each other. And if you think of what you and John and Brittany have done, and you think about the types of relationships you've built and how positive they are and how much we actually do help each other willingly with eagerness. And then you look at this, what we've been talking about, you can immediately see the connection of the spillover from the HITMIC energy into the Fin Partners planning and business outreach. They're not mutually exclusive. It is actually part of an energy of people who are trying to do good in the world, like the pink socks behind you, or you have Baby Yoda, and to our listeners, I have older Yoda because I have the white in my beard. You have the youthfulness, so you can have Baby Yoda. I unfortunately or fortunately have to have older Yoda. But together, we're doing great things. We're alive. So I really thank you for this time.
No, it's been great to have you on, Gil. And we got to have you on again. Obviously, this is a lot of fun.
Hey, we both have amazing programs that are supported by Healthcare Now Radio at this point. I'm going on to radio with Health Unabashed on December 27th, Monday, December 27th, 3 time slots. Maybe you and John will join the show. We'll have a great conversation, the three of us.
We always do. We always do. Hey, if you enjoyed this interview as much as I did, we'd love for you to subscribe, rate, and give us a review on iTunes, YouTube, or wherever you're listening and watching. Also, head on over to hitmic.com for access to resources, industry news, insightful articles, and strategies. You can always connect with us on Twitter using the hashtag HITMC. I'm Colin Hung. Thanks for being here.